Ukraine's Naftogaz backs Scholz's bid for Canadian LNG in advance of trip Berlin shortly earlier than his two-day experience to Canada. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz received assist for his hobby in Canadian liquid natural gas to assist replace Russian gasoline imports from an sudden ally, Ukrainian state-owned gasoline business enterprise Naftogaz. Kyiv has been at loggerheads with Berlin over its gasoline imports policy, first of all over its cope with Moscow to construct the Nord Stream 2 pipeline and extra these days over its cope with Canada to get a repaired turbine for the Nord Stream 1 introduced again to Germany. But the prospect of LNG deliveries to Europe from Canada, one of the international's pinnacle fuel producers, is something that no longer only Naftogaz supports, it is something it has also been quietly operating on itself. Naftogaz in advance this year signed a little-reported memorandum of information with Canadian energy developer Symbio Infrastructure to buy LNG from Canada. Meanwhile, Canada and Germany were discussing constructing LNG terminals on the Canadian Atlantic coast. Naftogaz's CEO Yuri Vitrenko instructed in an emailed announcement that Canadian gas had many advantages. Canadian suppliers do now not have dominance within the German market, do no longer abuse it, as Gazprom MCX, GAZP, who was artificially decreasing substances, cornering the marketplace, and ripping off its clients, he mentioned. Still, the challenges to these proposals are sizable, German and Canadian officers point out. The costs of transporting gas from Alberta inside the Canadian West to the East Coast would be excessive. New pipelines might be wished, and the global shift far away from fossil fuels manner the terminal's lifetime might be too brief to be worthwhile except converted right into a hydrogen terminal whilst fuel demand declines. German officers recounted this week that Canadian LNG deliveries were, at NICE, a medium-term prospect and played up alternatively a deal on hydrogen that Scholz is set to sign with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Sensitive political topic. German authorities officials are eager no longer to purpose ally Trudeau more complications after a backlash to his choice to permit a turbine for the Nord Stream gasoline pipeline to be added back to Germany after maintenance in Canada. Scholz and Economy Minister Robert Habeck may even meet with Quebec jurist François Legault from an extraordinary political camp to Trudeau because of extensive resistance there to the construction of an LNG terminal and the important different infrastructure. Michael Link, transatlantic coordinator for the German authorities, mentioned it'd make much greater sense to import LNG from Canada than from autocratic governments, noting it became vital Scholz turned into traveling the provinces in the federal United States of America. Canada is reliable, democratic and disposes of the very best environmental and social standards, he said in an interview. Yet, on the give-up of the day, even Canadian LNG deliveries to Asia from the west coast could help, he mentioned. The fuel exported there goes onto the sector market, it increases the supply and puts downwards pressure on costs, he advised.